Welp, I said I was going to do an update. Here's said update audio. First off, I hope that you're doing great, that your spooky month has been going well, and that you're excited for Halloween, and got your decorations on your house or outside your apartment door, depending on where you live. And I really hope the month for you goes well. As for me, um, there's been a lot. So on the community tab, I want to say for maybe a month and a half now, I've been saying that updates may or may not happen this week, or might be one or two. They may not be as many. And I've been saying because of school. And to emphasize that, as of now, I've taken, Jesus, I don't know how many exams I've taken. Not even like actual exams, only like two, I guess. But just so many tests. And it's really hectic. I have to be up on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8. And I immediately have two back-to-back classes with a 2 hour break I mostly use for studying. And then I have to go to another class. And Tuesdays and Thursdays is a 2 hour lecture. The only time I really have time to myself is when I get home, which thank God is mostly in the afternoon. But two of my professors like to give a lot of work. And when I mean a lot, I mean a lot. Those professors would be for my algebra slash calculus. It's a really weird class because they group two different maths together in one. I was handed algebra and calculus. I am fantastic at algebra. Not so much calculus. Now, in a way, I kind of am grateful and kind of not, because I could have got thrown into calculus and trigonometry, which one of my friends is in. And he says it is the underworld on Earth. He says it is legitimately terrible. And the sad part is you can't use a really good calculator. You can't use like a Texas Industries. And if you're in college, you already know that's pretty obvious. However, I do have accommodations, so I can use a calculator on exams, but again, they're still kind of banned. And these are the only calculators that will give you the full fraction. It won't just give you a decimal, because my professor, for whatever reason, doesn't like decimals. He wants fractions and whole numbers, which is understandable. But I can't do anything with that really, because I only get decimals unless I use a Texas Industries, which I bought, which are freakishly expensive. The other class I have a lot of work in is going to be the thing I'm majoring in, which is all coding. Now, in the beginning, it was pretty easy. It was all Python. Python is a really easy coding language in general, and I've taken Python classes before. So it was really easy. And then all of a sudden we switched gears into electrical engineering and learning circuit boards. But this is only for half of a chapter. But this is one of the longer chapters in the semester. And to give you emphasis, it's really tough. Not emphasis, but to give you more detail. I have to learn binary code, how to read it, how to add binary code, how to convert binary to hexadecimal, hexadecimal to octadecimal, and octadecimal to binary. So like everything kind of links together. And it is very hard for me to do because this is all division. And there are certain ways you can do it, but it's so many numbers grouped in one. It overstimulates you. There were people in class that just gave up halfway through. They just didn't even write anything down. I have to admit I was one of those people. I had to just kind of sit there with my face in my hands, and I had to copy my friend's notes because it was just too overwhelming. So yeah, a lot of homework. And I was sitting in my car today, and I was thinking back to when I was in sixth grade and I was struggling with multiplying fractions with cross multiply divide, and I thought that was hard. And now I'm sitting here as an adult in college thinking, wow. And I thought that was hard. I would gladly go back to that, to the doing that. And if you're a mathematician, I salute you. If you're studying math in any way, if you're doing trigonometry, if you're doing calculus, and if you know how to do that and you graduate and have a major in that, or anything higher, I don't know if you can get a PhD in that, but hats off to you. And also hats off to you if you do anything with physics, because I've peeked inside of physics classes. There aren't even numbers. It's just all alphabet. It's like X, Y, Z, and then just random symbols. If I went to that class, my I think I would just implode. There would just be, and then that's it. It's just ridiculous. But I can't drop out of these classes, um, because then I'll have to pay. They'll steal my money, and I can't pay for other classes. So I have to keep going. I have been getting help for these classes. I've been going to my college, luckily has free tutoring, which is amazing, which I've been going to, but I desperately need to go to it more, which cuts in sometimes of why I come home late, which is usually on weekdays is when I edit audios. I usually edit audios the day before or the day as I'm going to upload them, so I catch any mistakes. And I record mostly on Saturdays, which may not be the case anymore since I'm trying to get a new job. And it's going to be I'm going to be working weekends a lot. So I have to really reconfigure these schedules, something that I am not really all a fan of. I like having something set in play, and I keep going with it. The routine keeps me stable. It's in order, and I take orders. That's just how I was raised. I was raised with a bit by a lot of law enforcement and a lot of military. And if there's one thing they know to do, it's follow orders. Um, I was That's just how I was raised, and that's just the way I think. Now I have to change the order, which is something that I'm not happy about. I mean, I can do it. I'm just not happy about it. There are things in life that we don't want to do, whether they collide with our morals or the discomfort and dissatisfaction, but we still have to do them. And that's a lesson I learned a lot of throughout my childhood. And it's something that's never going to go away. So I still have to keep going through this. Of You may not like it. It may feel uncomfortable. It may feel wrong. It may be against your morals, but you still have to go. Life doesn't have a pause button where you can just click it and then everything just stops. Because Lord knows if I had that, I'd be using it more often than I'd admit. Way more often than I admit. So that's why audios have been very scarce. That's the major reason. And the second one is kind of with that too. And it's because I'm doing so much studying and doing so much homework. Sometimes when I get home, I'm just fried. I feel so drained and just lifeless. I feel like I'm a walking corpse, to the point where I just go to my room and I just lay in my bed and I just stare at my ceiling. I'm so destroyed in the mind. I can't even close my eyes. It's really weird to say that out loud, but that's the only reason I can really think of. It's like my mind is pushed past a limit that has never been touched. Before you break a boundary, you have to push it a little bit. I'm smashing through it, and then I'm going into overdrive, and then I just fall right back down. It's like a car is going as fast as it can, and then the driver just slams on the brake. That's what it feels like. It's just absolute tired. There have been some days where I just don't know what to do, and I just, after classes, I just kind of just sit in my car and I just stare at the steering wheel. I'm just so done, to the point where I think people thought that I was insanely baked because they started looking at me funny. But I was just so tired. So reason one and reason two go hand in hand. Now, here's the third reason. Technically, it's a reason. And it's going to be overall just, I don't know how to really put this, because it's kind of weird, but where I am now may not be where I am in about 2 years. I might be moving in 2 years. Because my goal is to get my associate's degree, transfer to somewhere else, right? To a different college. A college I've already been to, but I don't mean like I took taking classes there, but I've seen it. And it's a really nice campus. One problem. I'm not dorming. I'm not a person that can dorm. I've really thought about it. I just can't do it. Even if I get a dorm just under my own, like Chode gets his own dorm. Oh boy. Sorry if you heard that. I just hit my microphone. But like, say, like Chode gets his own dorm. Chode still cannot operate. I need to have a full house. I need that space, that structure. That's just me. Also, why I don't like apartments that much, and also why I don't like hotels. I'd rather, you know, rent a vacation house, which my family's done in the past, and I like it a lot more. I like the room and the space. And I might be moving before my family does. And I've told them this. And not to be mean or to be rude, but it's more so I do not like where I live in this country. I don't. Where I'm moving to is a place that is much calmer. It is much more, it's nicer, calmer. It's a place where I can wake up and not hear somebody honking their horn or a siren or hear a dog barking. I can go outside and not smell exhaust or asphalt from a road that's being paved. I can look up in the night sky and actually see stars. A place where I can hear myself think most of the time. Not most of the time, all the time. I don't really know what to do. And maybe I'm just a little crazy because I'm thinking about this 2 years ahead. But I want to go down there. If I could go down there now, with no repercussion, I would. But there's nowhere to go down there since I'm not dorming. I do have one relative that lives near the college down there. But I still have to get through my 2 years. I was always told that the first semester of the first year, especially of your first year of college, is going to be the hardest. I was never informed the true severity of how tough it was going to be. I would say high school at most felt like a marathon. But this feels like a 100-mile sprint while I'm in quicksand during a heat wave. And I have a migraine. That's what I can explain it as. It's like the worst sprint of my life. Running quicksand during a heat wave, you got a migraine. That's what it feels like to me. And every day now I feel like I'm waking up with a headache because of stress or because I'm doing so much work and my brain is just saying to me, listen, if you do one more equation, we're done, dude. I'm a very headstrong person, so I think, oh, I'll just sit down on my computer and do the work I need to do. And then I realize halfway through, I'm just completely done again. I'm just completely fried. But in addition to the friedness in a way from the day I already had, college is rough, kids. College is rough. I like having challenges, but not challenges every hour of the weekday. Weekends, I mean, really, only 2 days to relax. Most of the time spent sleeping is not enough. When I do my schedule next semester, I'm gonna make sure that I definitely do put some time in. Not time in, but I schedule it so I have more time to myself, so I can make audios and I can edit audios, and so you all get to listen to these audios. And making these audios is a way for me, is a way of therapy. It calms me down. It uns it makes me decompress, and so I can relax. But college kind of gets in the way of that. These audios help me in a way as well. And I'm extremely thankful when I see comments saying, don't worry about it. We're happy we're getting content. We just want to make sure you're okay. You know, it really, really helps, because when I'm in class and I'm stressed, I just think of what people in the comments say, like how much they actually care for you. They don't want to see you stressed. They don't want to see you go nuts and have anxiety from school. Those are the highlights of my day when I see them, and I always think of them when I'm stressed. I could be taking an economics quiz tomorrow, and I'll just think like, damn, like that comment was super helpful the other day. It really helped. From somebody I've never even met, I don't know the face of. You just happen to stumble upon my little speck of the internet. So really, thank you for being so supportive and helpful. It's it's amazing that somebody would actually say that to me. It really helps. I take compliments with a big amount of respect. And I I really do think about these a lot. Not just comments from my community posts, not just ones from Twitter, but from my audios. They really help. And to those who are going to be collaborating with me, thank you as well for being so patient. I've told you that these scripts may be a little late because of the amount of work I have to do. And so thank you so much, all of you, and you as the individual person. From the bottom of my heart, I really can't thank you enough. It really warms my heart to see that in this world, with all of this going on, there is a light. And I was granted to see that light. It means a lot. I I don't know how to thank you. But that's going to be it for the update audio. I can't say if Wolfchalk will be out. Most because today was horrendous. If it is out, it's probably not going to be that long. But I really hope you all have an amazing day, afternoon, evening, or night. And I'll see you soon.